Hi, my name is Mike from Atlas Ceramics. I'm down in the New Milton, one of our warehouses down in New Milton here to talk about some common questions that we get asked. This is probably one of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time. How do I remove cement residue? And this is a little bit excessive, but in some jobs can look like this. And really what you get is you get like a white border area all the way around your edge of the tile where from the install the tiler, the fitter, whoever's doing it hasn't actually taken off the grout or left it to dry. So we're here today to talk about how do we get rid of it. And to get rid of it, we recommend the Lithothyn product here, Cement Residue Remover KF, which is here. So before we can start, we should be looking to do a test area. What we're trying to do is to find out what is the dilution that we need to make this at, or the least, or the watered down version of it, to actually get off the cement residue. Because what we're trying to do is to protect the grout. So the grout joints all the way around is cement again. If we try to put it on neat and we leave it all in the joints, it's going to damage the joints, and that's what we've got to prevent. So before we start, we want to get a few bits together. We've got a pair of gloves, we've got a sponge, we've got an emulsifying pad here, which helps get off the grout. We've got a scrubbing brush, we've got a bucket, we've got a cup to measure it out, the product, and a bucket of water ready. The most important thing with the water, of course, is we want to leave the product on the tile for at least time as possible, but let it do its job. All right. So first of all, before we get started, I'm going to put my gloves on, and then we're going to measure out and dilute the product. Today, we're going to start it off at 5:1. All right. So that's a dilution, which is one of the weakest parts of it. Okay, so get my cup. If I can open this, there we go. Childproof, of course. Make sure I don't drink the coffee out of it too quickly. Make sure it's washed up properly. Okay, so 1, and then 5 of water. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, 5. Okay, so we've got the mixture all ready to go. Okay, we're going to pour that onto the product, but before we start, like I said earlier, we want to protect the grout. So what we do, and we pretend there's some grout all the way around, we're going to wash the tile completely, making sure in the joints that it's all wet and protected. All right, I'll put a bit more on it. And then what we would do then on the proper job is actually wipe off the excess water apart from in the joints. Okay, so now we've got the product all ready. We're going to pour some over the top to make sure that there's plenty of product on the actual tile itself. Then what we're going to do is let it do its job. We're just going to pat it a little bit. You can start to see it's already starting to actually remove, and you can see where the stubborn bits are, where the polymer is actually in the grout. That's what actually sticks to the tile. This is an R10 tile, so it has got some anti-slip, which does hold some of the grout back. So what we would do is that every sort of 30 seconds to a minute, we would scrub it up to a maximum of perhaps 3 minutes. We don't want it left on the tile too long, because what we don't want to do is leave the product in the grout joints, then damaging the grout. So we're going to give it a good old scrub here, and you can see it's starting to come all off. Look at that. There we go. Now again, we're going to leave that for another 30 seconds, and then we'll go back to the product and then give it another scrub. But in this particular instance, I think that's pretty good. So we're going to put that back, get some water. And then we're just going to check it, make sure it's all off. No, there's still a bit around the edge of that tile there. So pour a bit more on. You can move over to your scrubbing brush, of course. Making the cardboard come out. That's pretty good, that is. So we're going to wipe it off. Now we always recommend that you need to thoroughly wash this tile 2 or 3 times to make sure it's well soaking, to get all the cement residue out of the actual grout joints, and it's all nice and clean, so it's all well diluted. So there you go. That's how you remove grout residue from a tile. What a brilliant job that is. Right, so if you've got any further questions to ask me, then please don't hesitate to contact us in the normal way. And of course, like and subscribe as normal, and any comments please leave below. Till the next time, thank you for listening. Bye-bye.